Hey guys, this is Noel Paddy from Techie Paddy and welcome back to another video. So apologies for the delay in a new tech video coming up on my channel Techie Paddy, and you might have already seen the vlogs which I have already uploaded on my channel, and if you haven't, please go check them out. Anyways, so I was browsing through my Twitter feed last night, which was on 11th of February 2020, and I found a series of tweets by Samsung. And they were related to new phones launched by Samsung. One is the S20, Galaxy S20, and the second is the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip. This video is all about the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip, and if you guys want, I'll make another video on the Samsung Galaxy S20 also. So what I'm going to do in this video, I have referred to a few websites and a few videos about this phone, the tech creators which have made these videos and written about the articles about this phone. I'm going to refer to them, looking at the pictures. I'm going to be giving my initial impressions. What do I feel about this phone? So talking about design, specifications, and last but not the least, the pricing of this phone. So without wasting further ado, let's begin. So before we begin talking about this phone, have a look at the pictures of this phone. So this is the first picture when the phone is completely folded. It looks so elegant and it looks like a normal foldable smartphone as you might have already used in the early 2000s, and it fits in one hand. This second image is when the phone is a bit opened or half folded or half open, exactly you can say that, and you can see that it stays as it is. It doesn't either fold back or doesn't completely fold open. It stays as it is. That's where the hinges have been kept made as like that. And this is the third image. This is the humongous display with which this phone actually is equipped with. And now, without wasting further ado, let's start talking about the physical specifications, starting off with the display of this device. As you can see guys, that this is a humongous display. It is an AMOLED display, and it is a 6.7 inches display, and it is using some technology called as Infinity Flex, because this display is a it's a flexible display like this, as you can see my actions like this. So this is a flexible display, okay, and after all, in spite of being a flexible display, it is an AMOLED display. That's great. It has the aspect ratio of 21.9:9. You can see it is completely from top to bottom, and you have a notch in between which has the front camera. We'll talk about that in the coming clips. And last but not the least, let me talk about the resolution. So the resolution is 2636 into 1080, and it also has a PPI of 425. So these were all about the displays, but now I also wanted to highlight a few points about this display. According to Android Authority, which I am referring right now, it is said that Samsung Galaxy Z Flip uses a new technology called as ultra thin glass, where the display tech is much more stronger than the plastic OLED which had been used in its predecessor, which was the Samsung Galaxy Fold, and the other foldable smartphone, which is the Moto Razr. So basically, Samsung wants to give its user a better feel of using an expensive phone by using a better quality displays and not those plastic OLED displays. That's what it is mentioned over here. So that's a pretty good thing what Samsung has done. Well done Samsung, at least you have kept this in mind for the users actually. Alright, now moving on, since we're in the display part, let me also show you something. As you can see this image on the screen, you can see that this on the right hand side I'm pointing is a camera, and the left hand side you can see there's one more oval shape. Guess what's that? That is none other than another display. You heard me right, that's one more display, and it's a 1.1 inch Super AMOLED display having 300 ppi and a resolution of 300 into 112. So why is that display useful? Well, if you receive any calls from any person, or you're receiving any notifications about something and you want to access quick settings from that, you'll be able to access that. And yes, it is a touchscreen, that's right. But I wish Samsung had given it a bigger screen, just like a Moto Razr, as I had seen in the other videos of tech creators, that Moto Razr has a bigger screen where you can also read the text. For example, if you receive any email on this smartphone, you will be only be able to see that, okay, you have received an email. But the textual part can be only read in a phone like Moto Razr, where the display is a bit bigger. So I wish Samsung had done something regarding that part. So never mind, that's also not a bad idea at all. Now that I've talked about the display, let me also talk about the surrounding of this phone. So on the right hand side you have the volume rockers as well as the lock screen button, which is also the fingerprint scanner. On the left hand side you have the SIM card tray too. That's all. There is no headphone jack in this smartphone. because they want to keep it as thin as possible. Come on, it is very lightweight actually. It's around 183 grams. Anyways, now let's talk about the next specifications, and now let's get on to the processor though. So as you guys might be knowing that this is a flagship smartphone, and when this is a flagship smartphone, you may be expecting flagship specs. Yes, there are flagship specs, but the latest flagship processor right now in the market is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 865. But Samsung has chosen to use the last year's flagship processor, which was the Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 Plus. Maybe they want to bring the cost down or something, or maybe they did not want to, I don't know exactly what was in Samsung's mind. So that's what is the processor. The RAM is an 8 gigabytes of RAM, and this is only one single variant of 8 gigabytes of RAM. The ROM, or the internal storage, is 256 GB, which has UFS 3.0 technology. Alright, and unfortunately for the people who use micro SD cards, there is no micro SD card slot given in this phone. Alright, now let's talk about the next part. And you might be wondering, if this phone is such a sleek and a beautiful looking phone and it is a foldable phone, how about the battery? So the battery provided in this is a 3300 milliamp hour battery, and you can charge the phone either via the Type-C port, which is already provided in your phone, and you can use it has quick charge up to 15 watt. That's nice. And they have also provided the QI wireless charging up to 9 watts. So apparently Samsung hasn't missed out the fact that they should about the wireless charging at all. So well done. But 15 watts, I'm a bit skeptical, because some phones already have been started providing 27 watts. Like I think Xiaomi also does that, 27 watts or 18 watts or something. So they are providing better chargers than this. So I don't know if Samsung can come up with a better successor to this device with something like that. Anyways, now that we have finished this parts, let's talk about the cameras. In this world where we have triple camera, quad camera, 5 camera, 9 cameras, infinity cameras in smartphones, how about this device? This device has 2 rear cameras and 1 front camera. Talking about the rear cameras, you can see on the screen, I have highlighted this portion. These are the 2 rear cameras, and now let me read out the specs for you. So first of all, there are 2 lenses. One is the wide angle lens and another is an ultra wide angle lens. The first wide angle lens is a 12 megapixel dual pixel sensor having an aperture of f1.8. It also supports optical image stabilization and has a 78-degree field of view. So it's pretty wide. The second one is an ultra wide camera, which is also a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, and it has an aperture of f2.2 and it has a 123-degree field of view. So to capture better pictures, you can use this camera. Talking about the front camera, this has a 10 megapixel dual pixel sensor, and it is having an aperture of f2.4 and an 80-degree field of view. So you will be able to capture selfies very well from this camera also. Anyways, the other sensors are also provided in this, and I think this phone is not 5G, it is just a 4G in terms of connectivity, and all other Bluetooth, wireless, Wi-Fi, everything is also provided. Out of the box, let's talk about the software. So out of the box you get Android 10 based on the Samsung One UI 2.0. Now, since this is a flip phone, you might be wondering, how is the software optimized? Well, for starters, your app will be split. For example, let's look at a camera app. As you can see on the screen, that if you switch on the front camera, the controls are on the bottom side of the screen and the camera display is on the top side of the screen. So that makes it a bit, so that's where the software is also optimized. But this is not the only thing. You'll be able to also use some apps like Google Duo and some other Google apps on this smartphone, and you can also do multitasking of applications on this smartphone UI. So that's a pretty nice feature what they have done, and I'm glad Samsung has kept that in mind. And the rest all, I feel that I'll talk about some. The rest all is like when I get suppose if I get to use this phone in UK somewhere in a Samsung store, I'll be able to tell better about how do I feel about this phone. But looking at the specs, I'm a bit excited, but I'm also a bit puzzled as to who will buy this phone depending on the pricing. I'll talk about the pricing later. Okay, so I also have to highlight one more feature. By chance you have folded your phone. Okay, it's in this position. If you press your lock screen button 2 times or something, you'll be able to switch on the rear camera and the display will come on that small 1.1 inch Super AMOLED display. As you can see on the screen, this is a small video clip by MKBHD as to how this is working, so that's great. Then another best part what I like about this is, according to the Samsung website, this phone can stand tall at 90 degrees like this. So you can, if you are having a selfie camera, you can click a picture like this when the phone is just standing as still as that. That's a good thing what they have done in this Samsung phone. So I'm really glad that they have taken this into consideration for all the users. So that's all I can say about this phone. Oh, about the hinge. In the hinges, Samsung says they have used a new technology, some new fiber they have used in this. So they have basically set of brushes into the hinge where it will avoid the dust particles from entering the hinge to avoid damaging the phone, as they might have learned from the previous phone, which was the Samsung Galaxy Fold. So that's all about what I feel about this. So my verdict will be, based on my initial impressions, what I feel about this is a great looking device, an amazing device, great features. But my only one question is, who will buy this kind of device? Is my question. Let me unveil the price to you. So in the US, it is priced at $1,380. That's quite expensive, right? In the UK, apparently it is somewhere around 1,300 pounds. It's a bit expensive than US, but yeah, it's about 1,000 pounds. Come on, a smartphone above 1,000 pounds is quite a lot. And yeah, I know some say the pricing may be justified based on the features what the phone has been provided with, and some may say it is overpriced. I have no idea about it, so all I will say is it's a bit expensive, and I have only one complaint is, who is going to use such a device in this world? I mean, who will want to use another foldable smartphone? Okay, that's all I can say about this video, about this smartphone in this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you're subscribed to my channel Techie, this is the first time. My name is Noel Padgaonkar and this is my channel Techie. Do subscribe. If you have any comments or any feedback, please do leave it in the comment section of this video. Please share this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Oh, before I forget, as I talked about the pricing, this phone in the US will be available from February 14th. So you can gift your loved ones this smartphone. Happy Valentine's Day in advance. See ya. Bye-bye.